Okay, so let's just start with the truth, because honestly, pretending otherwise is just pointless. I've overthought this episode so much that it could have been a full-time job, to be honest with you. And the stupidest part, the first full recording didn't even save properly. Sitting there talking for ages, pouring my whole heart out, my mind, my thoughts, and my phone says, "No thank you." Marvellous. But you know what? That would have been the perfect moment for the shame voice to kick off. You know the one. We've all got it. See, you can't even get one episode right. But I just didn't. For once, I just didn't do it. So today I decided I'm letting the words lead. No plan, no perfect script, just me talking about the way I think. And before we go any further, this isn't a trauma dump. Trauma doesn't get that honour. And it's not a how-to guide either. Because I think they can be damaging. It's just a space to be real, to name the shame, and to share a bit of hope without pretending that I've got everything sorted. So anyway, welcome to episode 1 of Inside the Traumatised Mind. I'm your host Sarah, and yes, it'll be my traumatised mind that we'll be stepping into today. Bringing shame to light, one ridiculous thought at a time. I actually quite enjoy talking about shame. I think it's so freeing. I remember the first time I started to talk about it to my family and friends. I think they thought I'd lost my mind, to be honest with you. But back in 2017, when I had my breakdown, it was a full-on PTSD breakdown. I was so full of emotion, all I could do was write. And so that led on to some self-discovery journey, I don't really know how, but it led to Brené Brown. And I absolutely loved that she brought shame to light and she spoke about it. She described what I'd been feeling my whole life, but I didn't know what it was. It's that feeling of I am bad. Not I've done something bad, but I am bad. Or I'm useless. I'm never going to get it right. And so I was absolutely astonished. Like, imagine just being able to say, when someone says, "How are you?" like in your house, in your circle, imagine being able to say, "Yeah, I'm okay, but today I'm feeling a little bit shameful." But it's such a taboo subject that it's even shameful to mention the word shame. I guess a classic example that I like to use is, you wake up, you feel really bad, you're not feeling good about yourself, your child asks for something for breakfast, you make something that you've always made, that they love, but on this occasion, they don't want that. And so we go on this downward spiral of, I never get it right. I always get it wrong. The I always, or I'm bad, and that's shame. And we're honest in terms of if people say, "How are you?" you might say, "I'm not quite feeling enough." And they'll say, "Oh, you're more than enough." Or you say, "I always feel like I get it wrong." And people try to comfort that. But I wouldn't do it at the core. If we was able to be honest and say, "Today I'm feeling really ashamed," or shame is trying to grip me, how freeing that would be. Because what the other person would say would meet that true feeling, as opposed to, "Oh, I'm not feeling enough." Does that make sense? And the reason I thought I'd lead with that is because I had a similar experience myself this week. I've been ignoring my own things and focusing on building this. And I had a day where I came to the end of myself and I woke up and I was kind of in my own reality, and I so wanted to be angry at the world. I needed someone to blame, but there wasn't anyone. And so I started to feel really bad, and I noticed that voice trying to creep in. You never get it right. You always make mistakes. You're never going to sort this out. And I just was like, no. And so I spoke out loud and I said, no, don't you dare be horrible to yourself. It was really bizarre because I've never ever done that before. And I had a cry, cried myself to sleep. I woke up, and the situation was still there. Obviously everything that had upset me was still there, but I wasn't being horrible to myself, which gave me the ability to be able to say to those around me, I'm not feeling too good about myself today. And I noticed in that moment, then those around us, they know it's not them. Because I guess the sad truth is, when we live with the traumatized mind, we do take on everybody else's views and opinions of what's been spoke over us. And then we shame ourselves for our experiences. But it doesn't always come out at us. It has to go somewhere, all this emotion that we push down. And so usually it goes at those around us. Or at least in my experience. I'm not trying to offend anyone, I'm talking purely from experience. And so I noticed that I'm reactive to, when people need something from me, I'm already feeling terrible about myself. But I'm just saying the usual, or I'm anxious, or I don't feel good. And it becomes repetitive. And I guess those around us, they can get tired of hearing it if they're not sure what the problem is, or they start to wonder if they're the problem. And so I noticed in that moment, when I was able to say, I really don't like me today. I'm not feeling good. I don't want to talk about it. But you're not the problem. I'm emotional and I'm going to just let it happen. And I noticed that builds connection. It built connection, I guess, in our house. And it gave me the freedom to not feel under pressure to be someone or do things right, because I shared that I wasn't in that. I didn't have capacity for that. I wonder if, as we're learning to communicate this, others around us learn to communicate that as well. And so ending with, maybe it's okay to like ourselves, to love ourselves, to comfort ourselves. Maybe it's okay to give ourselves permission to self-soothe, because I wonder if at the core it does come from within. And that's absolutely terrifying for me, and I guess for others too. And so if you're starting your week, just try to be a little bit kinder to yourself, as I am going to try and be a little bit kinder to myself. That is my thoughts for today, and I guess that is episode 1 of Inside the Traumatised Mind. Not perfect, not fixed, not healed, just human. See you. I will talk next week for the next one. Before I go, you're going to have some grace for the setup, for mistakes, because I want to keep it as real as possible. I don't plan this. I don't script. So yeah, any mishaps, they're just, I don't know, I'm not trying to be someone huge. I'm just trying to release my thoughts and share a little bit of hope along the way. I will speak to you in the next episode.